Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is the English translation of the Majlis of Hazrath Maulana Qamar Uzzaman Saheb Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Monday, the 22nd of Shawwal, 1446, 21st of April 2025. Our Hazrat Wala is reading from the Maktubat of Hazrat Khaja Muhammad Masoom, which reads, A'mal ukhrawi mein tawakkul karna bhi koi maana nahi rakhta. That how is this? This cannot even be there. It is incorrect that regarding your a'mal of the akhirat, a person says, I'm making tawakkul in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now tell me, our Hazrat Wala poses a question, kya koi kehta hai कि दुकान नहीं जाऊंगा? Does any person say, I'm not going to work, I'm not going to open up the shop? Nobody says that. Hirs बहुत बढ़ती जा रही है. Thus, greed is advancing and increasing tremendously. तो इसलिए इन आमाल के लिए हम जद्दोजहद के मामूर है. Regarding these a'mal and these actions, we are commanded to carry out sacrifices. We are commanded to carry out sacrifices. मुआमलात आखिरत में खौफ व खशियत और उम्मीद का होना महबूब व पसंदीदा चीज़ है. Regarding your affairs of the akhirat, for a person to have fear, and then together with that, coupled with hope, is something which is liked and beloved. Allah Ta'ala says, يَدْعُونَ رَبَّهُمْ خَوْفًا وَطَمَعًا, that they make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a state of fear and hope. This ayat makes this reality absolutely apparent and clear. इअ्तिमाद अल्लाह के फजल और करम पर ही रखे. Put your trust in the grace and the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. However, do not let your a'mal slip out of your hands. Do not let it slip out of your hands at all. Obeying the commandments of Allah, imtithal awamir, and ijtinab nawahi, staying away from the prohibitions. This is the essence, and this is actually the reality of tawakkul. And haqq and the truth is confined in this. It is confined in this here. Our Hazrat Wala is speaking about an incident, or rather back in the old days, Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to demand from the disciples that they give ittilai ahwal, they inform him about their spiritual states. Now this was no easy task for a person to say there that I have this weakness in me, or I have this in me, or that in me. So from amongst the hardest things in the court of Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab for the disciples was actually to inform him of their ahwal. On one occasion, one of the disciples wrote a two-page long letter. In all of that, he writes, I read this and I read that and I read the other. And after all of that, reading all of that, Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab right there at the bottom writes, Akhlaq ka kya haal ho? That, okay, you said all of this here, that's your a'mal and that's your awrad. Now tell me, what is the condition of your akhlaq? Mar gaye, khatam. There and there the nafs dies. A'mal karna asan, akhlaq mushkil. For a person to bring or do his a'mal, that is easier, and the akhlaq that is more difficult. When it comes to that of akhlaq, then आदमी वहशी जंगली बनता है. He becomes absolutely wild and like an animal. On one occasion, a senior person came and he said to Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab that Hazrat, wazaif pure nahi ho rahe, that my readings are not completed. I can't complete it. Hazrat at that time said that the reason for that is that there is no one to ask about that. Koi baaz purs wale nahi, koi pursane hal nahi. There is nobody to ask about that. But if a person stays absent from work, he has to answer to his boss. He doesn't go to madrasa or he comes late, he has to give jawab to the principal. He is taken to task. His salary and his wages are cut. The wife at home is saying, why are you not going to work? Because she's affected by that, and the children are also affected because salary is going to be cut. But regarding the affairs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there's nobody to ask about it here. On that side, it's on that side. But there's nobody to ask about it here. Today, it is for this reason that people are deprived and deprived. That's it. They know nothing. They don't even understand what is the Shaykh demanding from us. What is my father asking of us? Hazrat Shah Abdul Aziz, rahimahullah ta'ala, on one occasion at his house, great ulama gathered, and as they were going at one another discussing academic discussion, what happens? This what happens. There is a knock. There is a knock from inside. And then there is dead silence. And then the daughter or the granddaughter of Hazrat Shah Abdul Aziz speaks. And she says, regarding what you people are fighting and debating about, my nana or my father, this is what he said. Here our Hazrat Wala is saying that the house people were so well acquainted with the ta'limat of the Shaykh or the senior that was there. Nevertheless, that proved to be so great that the final decision was made on what this lady had said. Today people don't even know. Regarding myself, no majlis was ever missed out. I never missed out a majlis. What can I tell you about meals and eating? I would not even eat. Okay, it came out of my mouth, and I'm saying it to you people, otherwise there's no need to even say it. Hazrat would say, here's one morsel. Would take that and eat and walk. But there was no question about doing this or doing that or do the other. Khune dil peene ko, lakhte jigar khane ko, yahi ghiza milti hai jana teri diwane ko. A person has to undergo sacrifices. He has to undergo difficulty. And this is his nourishment. Now tell me, does this not deserve that we listen to it and we read about it? You know, Hazrat Maulana Mohammad Ahmad Sahab used to say, regarding the processions in the weddings, etc., Bharat, that what is going on here? Singing, dancing, what and what? Hazrat would say that it seems, rather it is like this, that there is no, we cannot distinguish at all. We cannot distinguish at all the difference between the marriage of a Muslim and the marriage of a non-Muslim. But what to do? Sunte hi nahi. We don't even listen. The sama This listening is very, very important. The Sahaba became Sahaba because of this, because of their companionship. They were there and they listened. But if you don't listen, you will not know. If you don't know, what will you do? What will you do? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, night after night, would exert himself in the ibadat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and when he was told, but you are forgiven for that of the past and that which is coming in the future, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam replied, Afala akunu abdan shakura? If that's the case, that is the case, then should I not be a thankful servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Now these articles and these topics deserves that everybody should listen to it. This message should go throughout the entire world. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb used to say that, listen, I am telling you people something here, but what I am telling you will go and will reach the far corners of the world. It will spread out. This ta'aleem will reach everywhere throughout the dunya. Okay, let's continue. Killat ta'am or killat manam. This eating less and sleeping less. It is actually things which should be desired. We should do that. But in all of that, look at the moderation. Not so lest that it then becomes an obstacle in us worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Khushki-e-dimagh, that a person starts getting sick or he starts losing his mind, etc. It starts affecting his health in simple words. So this riyadat and these sacrifices and spiritual exercises that we do must be according to the sunnah, and then it will be mubarak. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam is mentioned, La rahbaniyata fil Islam. There is no monasticism in Islam. And we should therefore spend our time doing these following three things. Number one, tilawat Quran Majid, reciting Al-Quran. Our Hazrat Wala is saying, it is mentioned in Al-Itqan that at least once in 2 months a person should make khatam of the Quran, which then brings it down to reciting half a juz a day. Number two, namaz ba tul qunut wa khushu wa khudu, recite long salat, lengthy prayers together with concentration. And number three, takrar kalima tayyiba, to abundantly repeat the kalima tayyiba. You have requested, okay, just on that point of dua, Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb was a hafiz of the Quran par excellence. Zabardast Jayyid hafiz the. However, when it came to that of dua, then he would keep the munajat and maqbool in his hands. He would look inside and he would read those du'as. He would ask those du'as. So he had a great practice of reading du'as. So should we not adopt that practice? When we do this, when we do these a'mals and when we make dua, etc., what happens? Usse nafs marta hai. This is how the nafs dies. This is how the nafs is killed. Saying to the one who wrote the letter, Hazrat Khaja Muhammad Masoom is saying that you requested regarding your awrad and wazaif, your daily practices and readings. I have vastly and deeply went through mu'tabar, reliable books of hadith, and I have gathered the wazaif of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. However, up till now, it is in the rough state. It has not even come out in a proper book form. Rather, year upon years have passed. It's still lying in this rough state. However, it was not brought into book form as yet. But what I will try is to take from there and pass it on to you, इंशाअल्लाह ताला. फ़िलहाल अगर मिशकात या हिस्न हसीन में से इंतखाब करके कुछ वज़ाइफ अमल में लाओ तो बेहतर है. And if you can for now take out from Mishkat Sharif or Hisna Hasin, choose from there and bring that into your daily readings, then that would be good. You people make dua for me. This is the last portion of my life. And Allah Ta'ala give us a great portion from the ma'mulat and the practices of our Buzrugan Deen. Allah Ta'ala make all our maghfirat. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم بحرمة سيد النبي الكريم صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم.